Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now today's What If it's what if female Deku had Betty Nora's powers. Part 0. Now we're gonna run some information because we gotta establish a couple things. Now Izumi, that's what she's gonna be named. She'll have pretty much all Betty's powers. It's just instead of using magic, it's a quirk. So she's able to conjure pink energy spears, along with morphing her hands, her limbs, into weaponry, like a pink shield, a pink scythe. She has that whole pink motif going for her. So she's able to cause illusions. What this does in this what if it I don't know exactly it does this in glitch tales, but this is what it's going to do in this. By eye contact alone, she can make someone relive their most tragic, most painful memory over and over again just by eye contact. Oh, and like in glitch tales, I know in glitch tales she's able to hijack certain abilities like the Gaster Blasters, but I'm giving her that. It's part of her quirk. So that's why I'm giving her Gaster Blasters. Normally, she can't, create them. She can hijack them, that's fine, but she can't create them. What I've seen so far in Glitch Tales. But she's able to summon them at will. Well, I know I'm missing something very important. I'll get into the heart aspect of the what if I have planned. If you're familiar with, Glitch Tales or Undertales, you know what I'm talking about. Now, Izumi does have a sorry. Izumi have a very what's the word I'm looking for? Very minor fire manipulation in her quirk. She can't produce flames, but she can control them. The immediate when she controls someone's fire, instead of turning it to what color it originally was, it will turn into a bright pink. Now let's get down to the elephant in the room. The creature hovering over Izumi. Now in this, she has a artificial quirk. I'll go into why into the story. I'll set it up a certain way. How I thought in my head. It's a sentient quirk, but it's also it's a mix between two, a sentient and a parasite quirk. Now, what this does, this part of Izumi's quirk is always active. And each visual, it depends on each person. If she gives damage to someone enough with her energy, her pink energy, a heart will appear. And if her sentient quirk eats that heart, it drains all the negative emotions from the heart: fear, anger, hate, rage, all negative emotions. As the creature that above her sentient quirk, I'm gonna go by karma. That's the neat name for it. So the sentient quirk will be called karma from now on. As you know, karma each sorry, the more karma absorbs, feeds of the negative emotions, he regulate that into power and making Izumi a lot more powerful. Izumi already has, physical strength, superior strength, a par to superhuman, speed. She has a very advanced healing factor. Now in this, she will what feeds off her regeneration is a little bit of negative emotions that she puts into it. So the more serious energy, the more power she has to put into it. Karma regulates everything, so she doesn't have to think much of it. In order to kill Izumi, you have to kill Karma and her at the same time. If one survives, the other one will. Let's say she was fighting someone like All Might. She would have to damage All Might quite a bit for the energy heart to appear. The moment Karma eats it, or Izumi pierces it with her, she destroys it. The person will fall dead to the ground. As we start our episode off, as you see a man in a suit going into a building, uh, a area where like minds come together to discuss ideas and theories and future projects of the science community between Ojiko, David Shield. It's just, people from different fields of science. Some are medical, and some are more science based, like robotics or genetics. Because Dr. Ujiko has, a session over genetics with his little pet projects that he's been working on for a while. The Nomu project, but not many know about that. Only a rare few know about that. His little back dealings with his little being in All for One's employment. This black haired man walked up to Dr. Ujiko as he introduced himself to Kira. As he discussed, his work, and he discussed something. He told Dr. Ujiko that he wanted to discuss something, but not when there's so many ears. As they go to a separate room. As Kira puts up the idea of Project Nira. Sorry, I messed up. Project Nora. As Kira knows full well what Ojiko does on his off days. When he takes on his free time, his little operation with a very well known but secretive villain. That all anyone knows, that all his rare few know of, All for One. And he stumbled upon this at some point doing his research on Dr. Ujiko. And he would be the perfect partner for something like this. Dr. Ujiko listened to his little project he wants to do. As Dr. Ujiko starts laughing. As Ujiko just called him a nobody. As Ujiko told Kira, leave the real science to the real scientists and stay in your lane. As Ujiko walked away, and the look on Kira's face is pure rage. The utter arrogance of the prick. That's what his mindset as he storms off. As he disappeared from the science world for a good amount of time, for a few years. As when he reemerged as a doctor in the field of cork research, as he used that as a cover to gather genetic samples from different people. As Kira kept the purest genetic sample that he could find that will work for his project. until he got a genetic sample of one of the pussycats, the Mandalay. As she she saw the flyer and and the commercial on the news or on TV. So she went down there to give genetic samples, blood and hair follicles to this organization. For what public knows is just it's to learn more about corks. But the real purpose of the place is the creation of Project near Nora. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It sounds like Nora to me, but I could be wrong. Leave it down in the comments down below. I believe I have a couple of people that are into Undertales in my subscriber count. So let me know if I'm getting that wrong. I like to pronounce it right, but it sounds like Nora to me. So um, Mandalay did meet Kira. She was off put. She was definitely off put. How the doctor acts, fake smile, up front. She knows he's been she's suspicious of him, but she put that aside and said, despite the warning signs, this would help a whole lot of people. As she gave some blood and some hairs, pieces of hair for the research. As Kira thanks her and gave her he gives everyone money that goes into donate genetic material. As Kira finally shuts up shop for the night, as Kira has a smug look on his face, as he goes back in the back room, as he pulls something on the shelf, as a hidden lab comes into the doctor's office. As he follows the stairs, as the hidden lab entrance shuts. As Kira walks down the stairs, as he opens the door, as it's a big lab. As you see, sorry, as you see a big test tube in the middle of the room with some other devices. As some time has passed since then, since Manele gave genetic samples to Kira, as he used the genetic samples from Mandalay. As you see the embryo, um, not totally developed. It's in its early stages of the birthing, the growing process. I forget what it's called. I think it's called the embryo, but or the fetus. You know what I mean. As Kira, walks over to the test tube, as he also went as far as using his DNA as well, creating Izumi was using his DNA in Mandalay's. As Kira placed his hand onto the glass, does he wait, Ujiko? Make me a laughing stock? Call me a nobody? I'll make sure you pay. When she finally matures, I'll make sure the last thing you see is her face while she's dismantling everything you have built, massacring everyone that you are fond of. Dr. Ujiko, I will get my revenge. And I'll have Project Nora slaughter your children in front of you, your so-called Nomus. As Kira has a grin on his face as he looks at, the growing embryo grow fast. daughter. As he walks out, as Izumi spent many months in the containment tube, the test tube. As the day finally went where she's fully developed, as the water drains from the tube, as Izumi is the age of 6. No, let's not. No, let's not do that. Let's say she was the age of 3 years old. As when she exit, the little containment tube. As Kira begins nurturing the girl, with he's very cold towards her, but refers her as daughter. He doesn't show any affection towards her whatsoever. It's you do this, you do it. When Kara gives Izumi a task, he expects it done correctly in a time frame of that is adequate to him. So he's pretty harsh when it comes to Izumi's training. As immediately when she turned 6, as when that's when that's when karma first appeared out of Izumi's came out of Izumi, as it kind of came out of the back of her head. He could appear, karma could appear anywhere from her body, but that was the first time it appeared. As this is what karma looks like currently. So is Izumi. As Izumi's, upbeat, happy girl. At this current time, they're living in America. They opened their clinic. Sorry, after Izumi, was born, or when he decided to use the material that he found, that he got from the donations, he moved the laboratory to America, so doesn't get raided by the heroes, because the pussycats were butting their heads into his business, and he didn't like that. So he made sure when they finally raided his laboratory, there was nothing there to incriminate him whatsoever. By the heroes doing so, they unknowingly gave gave Kira some connections into the UA's faculty, as Nezu did physically apologize for Mendeley's rush behavior, as he slowly started to get close to Nezu. During this time, Professor Kara has known Ujiko's his whole he's in league with the League of Villains. In turn, the League of Villains leader, All For One, that's all he could dig up on him. Outside of his pure hatred of All Might, he wants to get closer to the closer to he is to UA. Better chance for him to keep an eye on the heroes, so he could engage Project Nora. Walk with me, Izumi. As as Izumi gets up from her coloring book. Yeah, Dad, I'm coming. As she have a smile on her face. Where are we going, Dad? We're going to my office. I have to explain a couple things that you need to know. What what I have high hopes for you, my daughter. As he enters the room with a blank face, as Kara goes over the intel on Dr. Ujiko. And Izumi kind of understood a little bit of it, but she's still a 6-year-old girl. All Izumi got out of it is that person hurt my dad, so he has to go. Izumi has a sour face, as Kira noticed that. As Izumi, put a bright smile on. Dad, if this man hurts you, you want me to kill him? As she has a smile while she said that. I would love nothing more, sweetheart. All right, Dad. I'll kill him for you. If that will make you happy, I'll make him disappear. Isn't that right, Karma? As Karma nods, it talks, but not around not around her father. Pack up. We're moving to Japan. Yes, Dad. As Izumi runs off to her room, as Kira has a smug look. Just you wait, Ujiko. I'm gonna make your life a living hell. Then watch my creation kill you. As we cut about 4 weeks, as we as we cut to a old grungy bar that a lot of low class villains like to hang out. As they're throwing back, alcohol and throwing darts and playing pool, this their own little clubhouse for the villains. That this is one clubhouse that wasn't been raided yet by the heroes. As the doors, open, but no one paid attention to that because everyone's having too much fun. As you see little Izumi walk in, and she sees a candle by the door, as she gestures her hand, as the fire comes shooting towards her, as it turns pink, as she walks over to the door, it's metal door, as she welds it shut using the fire. As she, has a bright smile, as she walks further into the little clubhouse, as Izumi, walks in the middle of the clubhouse, as they have now taken note of a random little girl in the middle of a villain clubhouse. As one of the guys starts confused. Karma, which one you want first? As Karma looks around, as he nods to that one, as Izumi has a bright smile. Can I have everyone's attention, please? My name is Izumi. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to kill you all. As she has a bright smile, as they're not taking it serious, as one of the villains start laughing, as, all right, who brought their kid with them this time? I understand, it's take your child to work day today, but you shouldn't be bringing one of your kids up to, our clubhouse. We're villains after all. As everyone, she's not our kid, not mine. How did you get in here, kid? Oh, I walked through the door. Like a normal person. But that doesn't change the fact. You all have to die. Sorry. Not sorry. As her skin color on her arms, pretty much down to her forearm, turns a pink texture to it. As her hands form into, scythe. As she morphed her hands into scythes. Jimmy disappears from the guy's view, as all the man can see is the floor tilting, his view tilting, as his head falls off his body. As everyone sees the little girl behind him, as she swipes her blade as blood splatter everywhere. As Karma has, a, irritated look. Sorry, Karma. That's right. If I kill him, you can't eat. My bad. I apologize. I'm very sorry. As, that's very disturbing towards other villains, as everyone's as one of them yelled, "Kill the kid." As they all rushed to Izumi, as unfortunately, one of them had a fire quirk, and she just took that fire, turned it pink, and released it on everyone. As she slowly begins to beat on them with a, I'm giving her this ability, as she has a pink energy construct of a bat. As she begins beating them, as hearts do appear, as she starts feeding them to Karma. The moment that Karma eats it, they fall limp. She begins massacring every single villain in the clubhouse, as the clubhouse is filled with blood, as Izumi is soaked in it. As she's sitting in the middle of the room, bloody silk room, with bloody clothes, and blood on her hair, and a lot of blood on her cheek. As Izumi smiles, says, "I thank you for, the inner. They broke, Karma. I guess we have to find more better toys." As she skips off through the door, as she, unseals it, the car pulls up. As the door opens, as Izumi gets in, as he sees her father. "Hi, Dad. I did what you said to. I did what you told me to. I left no survivors. That was fun. Can I have some more play toys?" As, curious, like, maybe. But you did good. Let's head back home. We need to get you cleaned up. Of course, Dad. Izumi gets home. As she takes a shower and gets dressed, as she heads down to dinner alone. Her father is doing research on some other things. He leaves her alone quite a lot. There's staff there to make sure Izumi is taken care of. As she goes into her room, as Karma comes out, "Are you sure we could trust that man? You know he's using us." As Izumi, "I'm full aware, Karma. The moment that he's no longer useful, I'll make him disappear as well. But until then, I'll be the good little daughter. The moment that I no longer need him, the moment that we could cut ties. You agree?" As Karma has a devious smile, as his real face starts forming, as he's a little bigger than everyone knows. Not by much, but he has a more evilish look. As Karma nods his head as he goes back into Izumi. As Izumi, giggles. Historically. Not historically. I forget how to say it properly. Hysterically. There we go. Hysterically. Historically. This is not no freaking history channel, but let's continue on. As Izumi spent her days, studying, being homeschooled, until one day, sorry, Kira had a knock on the door. As it's Nezu with some, Mendeley, of all people. As he's like, "Oh, Mendeley, it's lovely to see you again. What can I do for you? I'm not expecting visitors, and I'm surprised you knew I was back in in Japan." "Yeah, sorry about what I did. I just came to officially apologize." "Oh, no problem." As Mendeley hears the little girl, "Dad, who's at the door?" As Izumi eyes, grows with excitement as she sees new people. As she, rushes over there. "Hi, I'm Izumi. That's my dad." As, she bows in a curtsy type of way. As Nezu sees the little creature, on top of her head. As Nezu's like, "What is that?" "Oh, hello there. That's my quirk. I have a sentient quirk. This is Karma. Say hello." As Karma, says hello. Well, no, doesn't really. Oh, sorry about that. Karma's a little shy right now. So, Dad, who are these people? As Nezu and Menele, I didn't know you had a daughter. Yeah, from a past relationship. Come on, Izumi. Why don't you get back to your schoolwork? Okay, Dad. It's very nice to meet you. Who are you? Nezu introduced himself. As he was fuzzy, so Izumi, rushed over there to hug Nezu because he was fuzzy. As her dad had to pull her off him. As Manele thinks the little girl is just total adorable. As that took Kira by off-putting because technically that is Manele's daughter, but she doesn't know that. No, nor does Izumi. Izumi, immediately feels different around her, like she's completely safe. That calms her down a lot. That makes her feel like calm. Nice to meet you, Mr. Nezu and Miss Manele. I have to get back to my schooling. Sorry, Dad, for bugging you, for interrupting you. If you were if you were discussing anything important. No, sweetheart. No, daughter. Why don't you go do your schooling? Okay, Dad. As she runs off. As Nezu and Menele talk with Kara for a little bit as they finally leave. As Nezu fixes his tie, as he sighs in relief. Do you think he's up to anything, Menele? Not sure, but why did he have me apologize even though we know he's definitely up to something? Don't know. But the fact that he has a little girl, that changes things. We need a we need to have more we need more details on the girl's mother. I'll have some people look into it. Menele is, getting this very disturbed. Are you sure? Are you positive that he's not using that girl in some way for whatever he has planned? Not sure. Not sure yet, Menele. We need to tread carefully. We also need to bring him down, figure out if he's doing anything sketchy. We also have to put into consideration if we take him down, if he's dirty somewhat, if we can find anything to get him behind bars. We have to figure out what we're going to do about the girl. Menele has a sad face. And I just hope that girl's going to be all right. We need to get him away from him. Oh, we need to get her away from him. I knew from the first day I met him, something was not right about him. And after in his, after I found out what he's done in the past, the horrible experiments that don't know how he got that overlooked or just swept under the rug, makes me sick. The fact that I had to sit there and fake apologize to him still it still gives me the creeps. I know, Miss Manalay, but we gotta play the fact. We gotta tread. We gotta be careful with this one. He's a lot smarter than. Well, he's not smarter than me, but he's pretty damn close. As that's where the car comes in. Nezu and Mendeley, go into the car, go back to UA, and that's where we're going to. Yeah, we're going to stop it there. That's a good spot to leave it off. Now, during this time, I don't know, like, I'm aging mentally a little bit, but not by much. Because I don't remember how. I gotta go back to look at her details. Give me a second. During this time, Mendeley's been a hero for a couple of years. I don't know like exactly how old she was, when the anime started. So I know she's in her 30s, currently that I saw on the wiki. So she gave some genetic samples when she was, a in the middle of being a pro hero. She was doing the pro hero, but she hasn't, fully did her thing or whatever. No, scratch that. Let's say she was it was the first year of her being a hero, so she gave DNA from that. Then she's been, been doing hair work ever since then. So that's how we're fixed that. So I'm not going to go in much detail how old she is because I'm not going to go into the science of things. So, and that's pretty much where we're going to probably leave it off. Hope you guys have a good night and day. Judging my time, so I'm sorry. I'll catch you in the next video.